Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim, and our guest today is Brandi. So Brandi, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do.
Yes, so I am Brandi Dugal. I live in Austin, Texas, and part-time in Lisbon, Portugal as well. And I am the owner and creator of the Fidget Game.
Awesome. So can you tell me more about the Fidget Game, like what it is exactly and how you got the idea for it?
Yes, so I created the Fidget Game while I was a teacher still. And what it is it's educational games created to teach kids how to read. So all the games are multisensory, aligned with the science of reading, and backed by a ton of research. And basically, what happened and how this came to life is during the pandemic, I had a classroom of really low readers, like extremely low. And like 95% of them were reading below grade level. And I basically I gamified reading. I had to figure out how to get them to reading at grade level. And that's how I created my first, which is called the Fidget Game Sight Words, which is the Fidget Game. And during the pandemic, I gave these packages, which was basically the game now, to parents. And within 6 months, 90% of my kids were reading at or above grade level. So I knew that gamifying, and the kids loved it. The parents were like, this is so easy. My kids love it. I love playing with them. It feels like it's family game night. So I knew I had something and I was super excited. And to be honest, I was like, oh, I just have a great teacher hack. And then what happened is basically one day my husband came home and he just randomly asked for a divorce. I don't know, everything kind of got like, when the rug kind of gets pulled from you. So then you kind of, I don't know, you're like, well, I kind of just lost my marriage and everything I thought my life was. And I just decided to take every penny I had and put it into this game. So the divorce was a blessing. All of it kind of came to life, and that's how it happened. And now we have built out games from pre-K all the way to grade 6. So we basically have games for every part of the reading journey.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool because I love it when people are able to solve their own problem as a business. You were a teacher, you saw this need and you built this product. And then a situation came, okay, like now I can take this and create it. It's like an actual business. So what did that process look like? Did you quit your job as a teacher? Like, what was that process for you?
I did. I went all in. Like I took the biggest risk ever. I know, some people start with a side hustle, which is probably, can be smarter in some instances. But I was really in this, like, it's all or nothing. This is my chance. I don't know. It was this very dramatic moment. So I quit teaching and I put my blood, sweat, and tears into it for years. I'm still putting my blood, sweat, and tears into it, but definitely it was about 8 months before I actually did the product launch. So it took 8 months of going back and forth with manufacturers, figuring out how to do it all because I had no business experience. I was a teacher before. So I was just Googling, trying to figure it out myself. It was a wild experience with not much help in the beginning, but over time, I met people in e-commerce and in the industry who were so generous with their help.
That's amazing. So in terms of your business today, are you mostly selling to schools or parents? Like, what does that balance look like in terms of, B2B versus D2C retail, et cetera?
Yeah, it's such an interesting, when I first started the business, I just thought D2C, totally. I didn't even imagine how much B2B we got. We look through our customer profile and we truly only focus our marketing efforts on D2C, but 50% are schools and teachers, which is really interesting. And we're also approved for federal grant programs. So we're also, getting involved in that as well, which is great. But definitely next year, we're going to shift to nourishing our B2B because it's been amazing to, have school districts just say, hey, we want this in all of our schools, which is amazing.
What does a business breakdown look like in terms of business here in the States versus Canada?
Oh my gosh, Canada's so tough. So it was It has been, I would say it has stayed about an 85-15 split, like 85% US, 15% Canada.
Right.
For a few months, Meta really and Amazon really showed this like crazy growth for Canada, but then everything dropped. Meta went through some weird things early in 2024. I'm sure if anyone who runs Meta ads would know what I'm talking about. And we can't seem to get Canada back to where we want it to be, but we're still trying.
Well, I guess like you moved to the US and started this company here, right? So you're like a US company. And
Yes.
so that's kind of been, I'm assuming, more of your focus anyways. And it's like a much larger market as well.
Exactly. And the teachers we've hired, we've now taken on 3 teachers where we transitioned them out of the classroom to join us to create products, and they're all based in the US. So our sole focus really is US.
Awesome. So how do you measure like lifetime value for your customers? Like, do you have new product launches or like, yeah, I guess like, what does that look like?
Yeah, it's really wild because if I think about it, just like a year and a half ago, I think we only had like 2 actual games and then like extra card packs as add-ons. And now we have 10 core games and tons of extra card packs now as well. And we're launching 8 new products this year, which is crazy. And so it's really fun to see. We have a program called Lifetimely that calculates the LTV for us on Shopify. And it's so fun to watch that continue to rise as we develop and launch more products.
Amazing. So obviously, like, you started here in the US and it's all in English, but are you looking at like adding other languages in your pipeline as well?
Yes, we just launched our 2 Spanish games in the US, and those actually took off and did really well. And we're launching French and in Canada in November 2024. And we're launching Hebrew because there's a principal we connected with for the Jewish day schools across the US. And the Hebrew game will be launching in November 2024 as well.
Hey y'all, it's Dan Melnick, the CEO of Zing. And I wanted to share a special offer for all of our listeners. Right now, if you need software development services, we'll give you 2 weeks of a free trial. Do you need to update your website? Do you want to build a mobile app? Do you want to update something that you've been working on for a long time? We've worked in a high-level technologies like AI, machine learning, blockchain. So shoot me a text, 817-874-2208. Thank you.
That's cool. Yeah, it's awesome that you're diversifying into all these different languages, and it's definitely a great opportunity. So speaking of your business currently, what would you say is the biggest challenge that you face in it?
I would say the Chinese competitors on Amazon. Yeah, I would say they do a lot of scraping and then they take top sellers and then they'll recreate it, and it's cheaper quality, but then they put it at a lower cost, and it's like whack-a-mole, like we're always trying to take them down. It's never ending. And we have a team that has been so successful in getting a lot of them taken down just through our patent that's pending and trademark, infringement. But I think that would be the most challenging part right now, and sustaining growth. Like we're growing at a really fast and high pace, and making sure everything's in place, cash flow's in place, we're all good. So yeah.
Is that kind of why you push more customers to your website to kind of like nurture them and minimize this issue of Amazon coming in and people coming in and essentially knocking off your product?
Exactly. Yeah. There's just so much more, when a customer goes onto your website compared to going on Amazon can be very distracting. And we see a way bigger AOV, like average order value, when they come to our website, because we offer great deals, for customers to come. And yeah, and Amazon, it will be like one purchase, but we still see that Amazon halo effect. We increase meta spend. We've actually decreased our Amazon ad spend, and it just seems more profitable to do that.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon, like the margins aren't as good. And typically it's like a different type of customer. At least like when I was shopping on Amazon, I'm looking for the best deal as opposed to like the best, products. It's like a different use case.
Exactly.
Awesome. So in terms of your business, right, like you mentioned the channel of schools, right? But are you currently any retail store that kind of like in your pipeline as well?
It is. It's very exciting. We actually just did our first retail order with Learning Express. And yeah, that was super exciting for us. And we are partnering up with We Rock the Spectrum. They have like rock shops, which are gyms for neurodiverse learners or just all types of learners, really. And then we're going to be aiming for a Target and Walmart launch in 2025.
Amazing. No, I mean, like, that's exciting.
Yes.
It's awesome, like when you're
Yes.
doing well, like online, and then people can go to the store, especially in 2025, like, ideally, like, when it's back to school, things like that, like, especially now is kind of ramping up. So obviously now
Yes.
many companies use high level technology like AI. So do you guys currently use AI? And if not, like, what could it, come in and give you some value in your business?
That's an interesting question. We are using Midjourney a lot for product development, which is so fun. And my graphic designers could probably have a more high level conversation than I can about, a part of the design process. And then other than that, I'm trying to think where else. I mean, of course, we love ChatGPT and we're the whole team, we can't live without it. But other than that, like for tracking ads, we use Triple Whale. Yeah, there was some AI tools we've used. We just didn't really see the value that was long lasting. It was hard to, I feel like AI is like at this pivotal moment right now where they like are about to surpass everything. And it will be interesting, but I personally, as an e-commerce owner, have not seen that yet. I haven't seen the value in it yet when I talk about kind of like a service provider coming in to help us. But I think it's close.
Yeah, but like if you use tools like customer service with AI, things like that, like chatbots.
Yeah, well, we don't use chatbots. No, we haven't yet because we use Gorgeous for customer support. So we have templates, of course, that are easy to populate and respond to. But I don't know, we like care so much about our customers right now. We want to like give that personalized touch.
Oh, for sure.
It's so funny. Like we're just trying to navigate like the human versus robot feel. And I think it's going to be a needed mix of both. But right now it's too robot, when you get responses.
100%.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the one biggest piece of advice that you wish you knew before you started this business?
Oh, I wish that I didn't stress out as much as I did. I swear I probably lost like 10 years to my life. And I wish I didn't take it so seriously. Like, if this doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. Like, you can figure it out. I would tell myself that, like, have fun with it, enjoy the process, work as hard as you can to make it successful and to make it work. But you don't need to like stay up all night, stressing about these small details. And I actually found that when I gave the room to breathe and to let things be, I actually got the most creative and I had the best ideas and my business would skyrocket. But when I would be like stressing about minor details, I actually would see the decline in my business. So it's a kind of a spiritual outlook, but I do believe that your business is an extension to yourself. So you want to kind of keep your vibration at a certain place, because it will affect your business.
So are you stressing
it's a long-winded response?
Yeah, we're stressing more about just like product launches and like features on your product. Like, what were you really kind of stressing out about in the early days?
I would say like how I was going to scale the business. So I had to take, like, my first loan I had to take was $50,000. And that was so scary for me. Like, I had to take out this money and I was now in debt. And, now we take out $500,000 line of credits to get our inventory orders in place. And now I don't stress about it as much. I'm like, okay, we have a customer base, we'll make this work. But it was just growing and trying to figure out how to grow it, which is a very normal thing for any business. But for someone who has no business experience, it was terrifying. I just didn't understand the concepts of business, basically.
100%. So if we're going to have this conversation again in 1 year from now, where do you see things going for your business?
I would hope we are in retail. I would hope that we have 10x'd our business by that time, since we do have 8 new products being launched. And I would hope that we are starting to become known as a curriculum provider for schools as well, as we've gamified the literacy curriculum. So I I would hope that's where we'll be at. And if you ask me again in 2026, I would hope we were a very well recognized educational resource for kids.
Amazing. And we're rooting for you. So somebody watching this wanted to reach out. Do you mind sharing your website or social media? I guess best ways to get in contact.
Yes, I would love that. So you can, me personally, you can email me at brandi@thefidgetgame.com, and you can just go to the Fidget Game website and just type into the support email if you have any questions, which is support@thefidgetgame.com. And we're on Instagram, TikTok, all the socials at the Fidget Game.
Awesome. Well, Brandi, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. This was so enjoyable, Dan.